Today we're going to continue the halachas what we started yesterday about tvilas kelim. We mentioned many items that have to be toivel, not have to be toivel, with the bracha, without the bracha. Today we got about 10 items, but some of them have to be toivel, some of them not. Okay, we're going to talk about a toaster oven. There's two types. One where you put the bread in, and one where you one where you put your pizza. Okay, so both of those items, the toaster oven or the toaster bread for the bread, they don't have to go to mikveh. And Rav Moshe Feinstein explains the reason they don't have to go to mikveh because as we explained yesterday, the klei seuda, that's what the Gemara says, have to go to mikveh. Klei seuda that you buy from a goy. Klei seuda have two definitions: either what you serve the food with, either where you prepare the food with. Toaster is none of them. You don't serve the food with the toaster, and you don't prepare the food with it, because the bread or the pizza, usually you only put over there to warm up, not to prepare the pizza.
And if you cook it in it?
We're going to talk about it. A very good point. So since they're not made to prepare the food, they're just warming up the food, and you don't serve them. It's not klei seuda, it's called. If it's not klei seuda, it doesn't have to go to mikveh. You can bring a good point. The toaster oven was sometime you make a pizza from scratch. You could argue it should go to mikveh. But Emma says it doesn't have to go to mikveh. Why? There's a pizza tshuva. You bring the pizza tshuva from a sefer Shev Yaakov. So like this. B'kelim hanikvoim b'tanur v'lokhim mimayim chamim shebo lelishas isa sapas. We're going to cover another item now to understand this. L'moshel, if you have the example we bring that's not so practical today. We don't have such old ovens that have special water over there for the dough. But today would be a measuring cup. Measuring cup also doesn't have to go to mikveh, because measuring cup, you don't drink with this usually, and you don't serve with this, so it's not klei seuda. However, somebody might say, but once in a while I could drink. If I have a cup in front of me, just a measuring cup, I'll put the orange juice and I'll drink with it. So the halacha over there, it says, we're going basar roiv tashmisha. The kelim will go by roiv tashmisha. Something would be going back to the toaster oven. Since the toaster oven mostly it's used for warming up a pizza or bread, Memela, you don't make a pizza from scratch. You don't cook or bake over there. So roiv tashmisha, it's not kalachila. Even once in a while, you might put there a dough to make a pizza. Mamish once in a while. Most people don't do pizzas over there. Memela, since it's not
your tashmisha or everybody's?
In general.
I hear what you say. L'choyer of your tashmish.
They're using it as a milchik oven.
So it's a roiv tashmish of yours. L'choyer, it's for you. It's your kli.
So if you use it as a milchik oven, meaning as a cheesecakes and pizzas and lasagna, and you're using it as an oven. If you bought it for that purpose, then it would change the.
But,
very good. But now over there also. Now you're going to another question. In the oven itself, obviously the oven itself you can't take the mikveh.
No.
It's like klei adoma. Since it's stationed on the karka, it's like karka. Karka doesn't have to go to mikveh. However, the grates inside the oven. So there's few of them. There's one of them that speaks in Shulchan Aruch. So now we're going to cover the grates on the grill and in the oven, if they have to go to mikveh. So here is what the Shulchan Aruch writes. Tripidash shoiftim alem kedeira, meaning what you have on the top of the stove today. What you have the burners. It's called tripidash. And the lashon of the Shulchan Aruch bezman it was obviously a different shape those days. He says enom tu'unim tvila. The meaning the burners on the oven on top of the stove don't have to go to mikveh. Why? Because the same idea. We have to always remember this. It's klei achila, either what you prepare the food on, or what you serve it. And this is, it says, because the reason for it, they don't tvilim, because you don't put the food on them, you put the pot on them. So the pot itself, if you go to mikveh, you prepare with it. But the burner that holds the pot, it doesn't touch the food. However, he says, aval pidilyash, this is the grill, grill, you put on the grill itself the meat to roast it, to cook it, whatever. And same thing would be in the oven. If you use the grates of the oven to put the food directly on them,
Right the time.
Roiv time, then it's have to go to bath. If you put inside the milchik oven, you said you don't put directly the cheesecake. You put in a tray. Memele, it doesn't have to go to mikveh. Also, because roiv tashmishoy, you don't put the food on top of the
Especially when you're cooking. I mean, if you do, it's because you're
right,
warming up.
right. So memele, all those things lemaise doesn't go. Okay.
Pans say you don't need tefillah.
What
I'm
about
sorry?
sandwich
The
maker?
foil pans that you use say it.
Don't take me into added alis now. We're talking about tefillas kelim now. Don't go
What
with it.
about sandwich maker? Sandwich maker.
What do you mean? Do you make it from scratch from a
No,
dough?
no.
No, same thing, same idea. Because
The
if
bread's fully baked, the cheese is
the
edible.
food was prepared before, the bread was baked before. You don't serve with it. You just warm up, so it doesn't have to go to mikveh. Okay.
Can opener.
That we spoke yesterday about. So all this inyanim, a can opener, a bottle opener, a potato peeler, should go to mikveh without bracha. It's a machlokes. The main two tzedodim of the bach, which is all that have to go to mikveh, and a lot of other poskim said doesn't have to go. So anything debatable, what questionable, it should go without a bracha. And we said already yesterday, if you do that, better to take something that needs a bracha, say bracha on something for sure needs a bracha, take that with them. That's what all poskim recommend. The two, the shnor, the shach, they all recommend that. Okay, now the in halacha it's brought. I'm not sure today they use the same thing. They used to have today. I think it's some wood. The olden days they used to have when they made the matzahs. They used to have a special tool made out of steel to make the holes in the matzah, or to prepare the matzah, and whatever some kind of tools they had that they used to prepare the matzahs. It says they don't have to go to mikveh because the same idea, they didn't bake with that kli. That's just made the holes, so it's not kli achila. You don't serve with this, and like
That's why a can opener shouldn't need one.
oh, very good. So the same, by the way, it's good point you brought. So according to this, the tzaken shel shchita, many said it doesn't need to, and some said it needs to, because for them argument, it's you don't serve with it yet. So Lamai says such a thing, l'choira, according to, even according, okay, I'm thinking of it right now, maybe according to Bach, maybe such a thing should go to mikveh without the bracha. But again, today it's not shy, because today when I went to a matzah bakery, I think it was all from wood, nothing was from steel over there. That's a lot more efficient, a lot more. They make the hole in the matzah, it's from steel?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rollers.
It's a roller.
The rollers.
Oh, okay. Then you know what? So according to this, would be like the way it's wrote in the halacha. It says that doesn't have to go to mikveh. Maybe according to the bach, it should go to mikveh without the bracha. Okay. All right. Now we're talking about the covers. The covers on the pots. Did they have to go to mikveh or not? So there's two type of covers. One cover have to go to mikveh with a bracha. One cover doesn't have to go at all. If it's you covering something while you're warming, like the pot, the cover is halacha of the kedera itself, because the heat mixing up, the heat goes up and down. So the cover on the pot that you cook with it needs to go. Let's say you have a cover on something, you always keep it something cold over there. Even though let's say even something you serve with that needs to go to mikveh, but the cover, since it doesn't touch the food and it's cold, it doesn't mix. So that's why they said they used to have in the olden days, I'm not sure today, by the bakeries, they used to have to cover the dough before they put it in the oven. And when they put the oven, it says that, no, they put it before it went to the oven. That doesn't have to go to mikveh, the cover, because it's not touching the food. Since it's not touching the food, it's not even the heat. There's no heat over there. If the cover, there's no heat involved over there, just a cover on a cold food, let's say, and it's always, that's how you use it, doesn't have to go. But if it's a cover of the pot where you cook, that's have to go to mikveh with a bracha, the cover. Yeah, I'm sorry, what you said?
No, I said like a pitcher, like a water pitcher.
Oh, so again, if it's a plastic pitcher, obviously it doesn't need to go to mikveh, it's a plastic. If you're right, if it's a pitcher made out,
Glass?
glass, very good, and there is a separate. If it's one body, the whole thing have to go to mikvah. You cannot just go have a kli. That's another halach we didn't learn yet. The whole kli have to go to mikvah. Even the part of plastic doesn't have to go. If it's part of that kli, it have to go to mikvah. The whole thing have to go to mikvah. But if it's a separate cover on it from glass, separate, the cover does not have to go to mikvah, right? If you just use it for cold, again, if
But
it's
you
hot.
have to realize that the lid allows it to go out of the spout. You understand? So it.
Oh, if it touches again, if it touches the water, then it's have to go to mikveh. Very good. We're talking about when it's not touching it.
What about a chinik like this? Like the samovar?
Definitely, that's prepares the food. It's like the same thing, like a pot that prepares the food.
So
Klei
you-
achila, it's two inyanim. Either what you serve it or do you prepare.
But if it's a big one, even a big one?
Yeah. Oh, if it's mechubar lakarka, meaning
What
if
do you
it's
mean mechubar l'karka?
mechubar, meaning if it's stationed, that the meaning somehow it's stationed, it never moves away. That's
Go to a big shoal, it doesn't move. Sometimes.
That doesn't move. That's mechubar lakarka. It's potter. Something your wherever it's mechubar doesn't move. It's called mechubar karka dami. That doesn't have to go to mikvah. Anything small like this definitely have to go to. By the way, when you take
What you
this
doing with the
this very good. When you take this urn to mikvah, a lot of people I see they put the urn itself. Then the plastic wire. If it's a separate wire, you just plug it in. Then it's okay. You don't have to toivel the plastic. But it's all one piece, like this one. The whole thing have to go to me because it's one kli. If you keep the plastic out of the water, that.
But I have a question.
By the way, the cover of this doesn't have to go to. It's a plastic. The cover. It's not. It's a kli without the cover too. It could function without the cover. But the wire it's connected to it have to go to mikveh. Now, were you afraid of? I did toivel the
What
million.
about the samovar that they're selling in in one
And it's
store?
a
They
tefillah.
said they-
We spoke about this.
We don't
Refer
know
to the
much.
other shiurim. I would toivel them without the bracha because the whole thing we have a shiur about this. About eno tzorich tefillah business, so go over to that shiur and you see why I would tell without the bracha.
I
Yeah,
have a question about
yeah,
that.
yeah.
You're saying a toaster oven that you put the toast in, the push down. You only use it to heat up bread.
Yes.
Why does that need mikvah? Because that needs mikvah. They both
It doesn't
need
need-
mikvah.
it
But
doesn't
he's
need
saying it
mikvah.
doesn't. But that here, because here your water is edible.
No, meaning you're right, but he's still prepared. That says that what the Shulchan Aruch says clearly here. I will read it the Shulchan Aruch. No, we. Okay, let me. I brought it yesterday. Here. Look. En tzorich tefillah ela leklem matchois v'em tzorchi asuda kagoin koises sluchias yoyres vekumkumim. Kumkumim where you make the water.
Right.
You're right. You could argue, but it's not. The water is ready to drink without. But people do warm up water. That's klei achila because you prepare the water over here. Kumkumim. That's a kumkum. Al pi
But
halacha.
I'm preparing my bread in the toaster oven. Like bread, I don't eat the bread
No,
until it's toasted.
again, if the bread would not be edible before, would be a dough, you're right.
Yeah, but it's the same
But
thing.
it's
The
not-
same-
No, it's not. The water, it's different. The water,
I'm not seeing the difference. That's
no. It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference
Why?
because they have today the concept of iced coffee, iced tea. Originally, tea means hot tea. Something like ice cream means frozen ice cream, not hot ice cream. Tea means hot tea, and
Okay.
coffee means hot tea. So this is what made the coffee, the hot water. So this is like cooking. This is not warming up. It's
So it's a
cooking. It's
cooking.
boiling. It's a cooking. The toaster, it's a warming. It's a two different things. Okay, Rabbi Isai, I think we covered. I think we covered everything. Yeah. Okay, for today.